Before we proceed with the items on the agenda, I just need to remind you of the usual housekeeping messages. There are no fire alarms planned to test for this evening, so if the alarm sounds, please leave the chamber by the nearest door. Then follow the illuminated fire exit signs and assemble in the car park at the rear of the building. Would you please all ensure your mobile phones and tablet devices are on silent mode? A gentle reminder about appropriate behaviour within the council chamber. We ask that everyone respect councillors and officers when business is being carried out. If a member of the public interrupts the proceedings, I shall endeavour accordingly. You have the right to film these meetings if you so wish, but I would like to know before we begin whether anyone in the room plans to do this. If you intend to film the meeting or part of it, would you please indicate now? Okay. So, thank you. As per point 22 of the Access for Information Procedure Rules, I ask those filming in the meeting as a matter of courtesy that your recording is as visible as possible for those attending. I don't think do we have anybody showing hands? No, fabulous. Before I say any more, I just need to deal with a couple of formalities. First, apologies for absent. Apologies for absence have been received from Councillors Baxter, Fale, Fielding, Lamarinell, Martin, B. Stevenson, Councillor Sorensen and Councillor Smith. Are there any other apologies? No, thank you. The next item is declarations of interest. Do any members or officers have any interest to declare on any items included in the agenda? Okay. Thank you. Welcome to all members and guests to the annual meeting for 2025. Before I make my retiring speech, I have the honour of presenting the HMS Sheraton Trophy. I'm very pleased to announce this trophy, and yes, I've got something else here. So it does give me great pleasure to present the Sheraton Trophy, an award that celebrates outstanding achievement, dedication and the spirit of resilience in our young people. This year we received many truly remarkable nominations. The talent, commitment and compassion showed by our nominees were nothing short of inspiring, and I want to thank everyone who took the time to put someone forward. You made our decision incredibly difficult. However, one nomination did stand out to me, not just for what she's achieved, but for the strength of character, determination and positivity she demonstrates every single day. Amelia, this year's winner, is an exceptional young woman who embodies this very value, the trophy. Despite living with a lifelong disability, Amelia has shown immense resilience and dedication, becoming a competitive swimmer with the Fleetwood Marcos, reaching county and national level in her category. She's not only breaking personal boundaries, but she has also started on a pathway towards the Paralympic swimming team, a truly extraordinary achievement. But Amelia's accomplishments don't just stop at the pool. She's also been recognised with the Duke of Edinburgh Award and continues to make significant progress in her academic life. On top of that, she remains actively involved in her community, helping to raise funds of the Christmas Choice charity fundraising efforts. Amelia, your courage, commitment and drive are an inspiration to us all. You show us that no barrier is too great when matched with passion, perseverance and purpose. I had absolutely no hesitation in awarding you the Sheraton Trophy this year, and I hope you'll accept it with pride because you truly deserve it. Thank you. If you'd like to come up, Amelia. The next item I will make will be my retiring speech. As my term of mayor comes to an end, I sit here full of gratitude, pride and a deep sense of honour to have served such a vibrant, kind and resilient community. First and foremost, I want to thank my husband and consort. Your support, love and patience have carried me through every moment, and I couldn't have done this without you by my side, and I do appreciate all the football that you've missed. You'll get that back. To my wonderful attendant Peter, thank you for always getting me where I needed to be, on time, with a smile, and for keeping everything running smoothly behind the scenes, and for putting up with my singing for a whole year. To my Civic office Deborah, your patience, flexibility and calm guidance have been invaluable. You've been a constant source of reassurance, and I'm grateful for everything you've done. To Steve Dunn, my pastor, for keeping me grounded and me being more than there when I challenge my faith, and the church and the community of the church for the tower of strength, and I feel totally blessed. Thank you. My sincere thanks to Chief Exec Rebecca, Joe Billington and the entire executive team for your leadership and support, and to all the officers at the Civic Centre. Your help and professionalism have made the world of difference, and we don't often see what these guys do, but I can hand on heart tell you that they work tirelessly. To the Deputy Mayor Steve, thank you for your unwavering support and wise counsel. You've always been there and it's meant so much to me. And to our son, Joe, thank you for your help behind the scenes, especially securing prizes for my Mayor's Ball from various football clubs. But even that, when you turn and you say to me, I'm proud of you, Mum, I bounce that right back, because Dad and I are so proud of the young, kind, grounded and remarkable young man you've become, and thank you for all the hugs and love. I did have a message from my dad. Sadly he can't be here because he's unwell, so I will share that with him privately. To Carmel, Vicky and my extended family, thank you for being by my side and for feeding Joe when I've been the world's worst mother, and for never letting me feel alone, and I'm so grateful to you all. To my friend Joe, your friendship is one of the most precious gifts I have, and thank you for always having my back. I don't know whether she's here, but Mrs. Park, is you here? Yes. For the many times you've attended events, and to tell me how proud you are of the little girl that went to Fleetwood Eye, and who'd have thought it. Again, thank you for all your support. To Nikki and her beautiful daughter Evie, are you guys here? Yes. Thank you for all the kind messages you've always sent me, for the presence at events and the friendship, and despite your own health challenges you still find time to uplift me and others, and you're raising a truly remarkable young woman, and I admire your strength deeply. Councillor Alf Clempson, thank you for your kindness and support, for always being there and helping with residents' issues so quickly. It is very much appreciated. To Marianne, George and the Democratic Services team, thank you for keeping me so impeccably organised, and also George for always making sure there's been chicken nuggets. I've attended many events this year when Stephen's been unable to make it, and Councillor Marinell, who sadly isn't here again, I'm sure he will tell you the stories that he'd share with you about some of the things we've attended. And again, to Councillor Lady Atkins, thank you very much. It's been just sharing so many events, and your wisdom and experience. It's been a privilege to learn from you. Thank you. To Councillors Minto and Livesey, thank you for the presence, your advice and your impeccable support, and I've lost count of how many times at events I've been asked if you were my bodyguard, so I did say yeah. I did say yes you are. To Councillor Cattrall, though through your own journey you've always found time to wish me well and offer guidance, and I'm so grateful to call you my friend. Councillor Cartridge, thank you for always being at the end of the phone right from the beginning of my career as a councillor. Your support has meant so much. Councillor Kay, despite overcoming a serious illness, you've still been a source of kindness and guidance, and I'm deeply touched by your strength. Thank you. Councillor Meekins, my sugar supplier, always keeping me in sweets so I'm not flagging when I've not eaten anything. Thank you for being so thoughtful. Councillor Rendell, your kind words even when I've doubted myself, but you've been encouraging, and I'm so grateful. Thank you. Councillor Berry and the leader, thank you very much for all your kind words when again I've doubted myself, but yourself and the leader have been so encouraging, and I'm very, very grateful, and your support hadn't gone unnoticed. Thank you very much. And I don't just stay on this side of the room, I come over. To Councillors Fale, Belshaw, our very own Mrs. Christmas. You're not here? Oh yes, I couldn't see you. It's because you didn't have your Christmas suit. It's because you didn't have your Christmas suit on. Councillor, very own Mrs. Christmas, Councillor Rendell, Rayner, Molyneux, Blair and Wells, thank you for your kindness and checking in with your warm hearts. I appreciate it. Councillor Swatton, I do owe you apologies. Is you here? Oh, good. Yeah, I can see. I'm not got my glasses on. I owe you an apology. On Remembrance Sunday, you complimented me on how smart I looked, and I was too busy fighting with my hat to respond properly. So I say now, you looked incredibly smart, and I'm so very sorry for the delayed response. And to everybody in this room, I could thank each and every one of you individually. Your encouragement over the past year has lifted me up time and time again. During my last year, I've also had the privilege of meeting some of the best people within our community, like Jane Couch and her team, Joyce, Fiona and Kath. Kath, your team raise money for local causes and give so much of yourselves. And I must admit, when I first walked into your group, I was a little bit nervous, but you enveloped me with such warmth, just as you would do anyone else, and I'm proud of everything you do for the community. To Alan, landlord of the Bull in Poulton, and to Mark, thank you for your dedication to raising funds and for giving back. The spirit of community at your events is truly heartwarming. Thank you very much for all that you do. To Len and Babs from Donna's Dream House, these guys have attended many events with myself, and Babs, your hugs are legendary, and for Len, your knack of switching tables to keep me looked after is unmatched, and again I'm proud to call you both my friends. And to all councillors, I urge you to get involved in the local events. It's those spaces that you'll find the heart of your communities and the people who are most grateful for your time and help. So I'll wrap up because I've run out, not because I've run out of thanks, but because I don't want to sound like I'm won an Oscar and I don't want to cry. I'll finish with this. This year has shown me just how kind people can be, and I appreciate every single one of you in this room and the wider community for the kindness you've shown me. And I urge you all, keep going, keep being kind, help others. Sometimes it might just be a smile, but even the smallest gesture can mean the world. I have felt that kindness and I have been truly blessed. Thank you very much. Can I please invite the representatives from each of the charities up to the microphone to say a few words in this order? Can I have Sam's Place? So I have both of them at the same time. And also Fleetwood Town Community Trust, please. Thank you.
Around here? Around there.
You don't have to. Go on. You go. You go.
I don't need the microphone.
No.
I'd just like to thank Jane and Steve for attending the events that we run at Sam's Place, and whatever the donation is, it will help us carry on doing the work that we do. So we're great, appreciate it. Thank you. I hate speaking.
Thank you so much. Thank you. Oh look, someone's prepared. Oh no, I thought you were. Oh, come on, you're seasoned.
Yeah, on behalf of Fleetwood Town Community Trust, I'm extremely grateful for Jane choosing our charity. We work very closely with Wyre across the board, and everything she's done has helped to raise our profile. And people think the trust is to do with football. It's probably the smallest part of the stuff that we do, and right across the borough, the money we receive will be used to better the lives of everybody. So thank you very much, Jane.
Thank you. The next item is the election for the Mayor for 25-26. Please can I have a nomination for the office of Mayor? Thank you, Vincent. Is there a seconder for that proposal? Thank you.
Madam Mayor, councillors, county councillors, honorary aldermen, honoured guests, ladies and gentlemen. It is my pleasure to tell you all about the Mayor-elect, Councillor Steve Nichols. Steve was born in Liverpool to Alf and Edith Nichols in 1950. He was an only child and attended the Pinehurst Avenue Junior School before going to the Liverpool Institute for Boys, which Steve assures me was not their equivalent of Borstal, despite how the name makes it sound. Steve was the head boy at the school, which Paul McCartney and George Harrison had also attended. Growing up, Steve loved football and music. Like all good Scouse sadomasochists, he supports Everton. His favourite genre of music is 1970s rock, and when he was younger, he primarily played the bass guitar. He left school to work at the Inland Revenue before leaving to join the assembly line at Vauxhall Motors. But this just kept him in beer, and his real love was music. Steve used to roadie for a band he knew, and one night they were playing at the Cavern Club when he was loading gear down the old beer drop, where you had to be very careful when passing and receiving the equipment, as one mistake and it could be destroyed. Everyone used to help each other load and unload. This one night, Steve dropped an amplifier down and it broke. He was apologetic and embarrassed, but did not think too much more of it. Not long after, the Beatles became famous, and being well connected in the Liverpudlian music scene, Steve was invited to a reception for the band at the Adelphi Hotel, where he met John Lennon. Lennon looked at him and said, "I know you, don't I?" Steve didn't think he did, and answered accordingly when the Beatles said, "You're that," expletive deleted, "who dropped my amp," and proceeded to chase him around the venue. Steve told me quite proudly that Lennon wasn't able to catch him. Steve also used to play in a band himself called Tomorrow's World. Back then, bands used to have signs in the windows of their vans advertising who they were. One night, the band went to the Cavern Club to watch some entertainment, and when they pulled up outside, the bouncer came out and asked them why they were late and shepherded them on stage. Startled, but delighted at the opportunity to play the fabled venue, they duly performed. Steve then tells me that a band named Tomorrow's People had been booked, and that the bouncer must have seen the sign and thought they were them. Still, he couldn't be happier, as that was the one and only time he got to play there. Back to his career, after Vauxhall Motors, Steve went to work in retail furniture for several years before moving to insurance. His primary income came from selling insurance to shops and retail, but his employer decided to close that arm of the business, and so Steve needed a change. He'd been dealing lots with death claims at the time, and when he saw an advert for a role as a trainee funeral director with Cravens, he went for it and didn't look back. He quickly progressed and managed several branches before moving to some of the bigger firms and acting as a regional manager. He met Sandra in 2004. He didn't tell her of his interest for a while, and when he did eventually work up the courage to say he would like to be more than just friends, she smiled and said, "I know." Steve had joined the Muslim Burial Committee in Liverpool, which piqued his interest in helping a range of communities. In 2005, he and Sandra moved to the West Midlands to start a funeral business serving the Sikh community before moving to Poulton in 2007. Steve has been active in community groups for the whole time he has lived here, and Councillor Berry will tell you all about Steve's community and council work within his seconding speech. Madam Mayor, Steve will be an excellent, hard-working and community-minded mayor, and it is my pleasure to where was it?
To propose
That
where's Steve Nichols?
to propose, not in the programme. Yes, it is that Councillor Steve Nichols be elected to the office of Mayor of the Borough of Wyre for the municipal year 2025-26. Thank you, Madam Mayor.
Councillor Berry, would you like to say anything?
Thank you, Madam Mayor. Madam Mayor, County Councillors, Councillors, Honorary Aldermen, honoured guests, ladies and gentlemen. I'm very pleased to second this proposal. Councillor Nichols has worked hard as councillor representing the residents of Hardon with High Cross Ward, and within the council has served on the licensing committee and the planning policy group, and for the last year has been Deputy Mayor, attending many events and functions in support of the Mayor and the mayoralty. Before becoming a councillor, Steve, as a keen Rotarian, played a major role in their annual 5th of November community bonfire on Cotton Hall playing fields in Poulton, which has always been well supported by the public. He has supported the Poulton Gala Committee, and I've no doubt it would give him great pleasure and pride to be able to lead as Mayor the Gala procession in a few weeks' time through the streets and centre of Poulton. it would be remiss of me if I did not mention the considerable work he has carried out in raising funds for the Friends of Jean Stansfield Park in Poulton. He has organised and acted as compere of large music festivals and events in the park, which has enabled the Friends to enhance this well-loved park in the centre of Poulton. When I asked Steve why he wanted to be mayor, his reply was that he really enjoyed his time as deputy, visiting all the various communities and groups in Wyre, and he wanted to be able to continue with this as mayor. He loves to meet and converse with people and to take part in the activities of the various groups he meets. I think this is what our residents expect of their mayor. Steve has already shown his commitment to working for the benefit of our communities, and I think he will make a great mayor. I therefore second the proposal that Councillor Steve Nichols be elected to the office of Mayor of the Borough of Wyre for the municipal year 2025-2026.
Thank you, Councillor Berry. We will now confirm this proposal with a vote. Would all those for please show hands? That's unanimous. Councillor Steve Nichols is duly elected to the office of Mayor for 25-26. There will now be a short break before the new Mayor takes to the chair for the remainder of the meeting. Thank you.
These have gone out, we can dive through the door. It's up to you.
Jane.
Hey, how you doing? Good to see you. You alright? Not bad.
Last time I saw you, I've been for an MRI scan. And I've got the all clear.
Brilliant. Scary though, isn't it? You do worry, don't you? You've
been going in straw.
Huh?
Straw. Straw the gas.
Strawberry?
Yeah, I've been in there.
It's alright.
Yeah, well, I see I grew up. That was my first book.
Right.
I lived in there. So I used to just touch around there. Yeah, so what's this charity you got?
It's not a charity, we're just a group. Just a group that help people who are struggling. I know, but we don't want any funding, we do it ourselves. Yeah, we fund it all ourselves. No, we do like raffles and auctions to raise money.
Right,
And we just do it.
Have you moved back here now?
Yeah, I'm back now.
Have you seen Big Al?
Yeah?
He's owned it, yeah?
Yeah, seen him.
Where did he say?
Over Wyre.
Yeah, that's right.
When you told me, yeah, we went to
open it up a bit.
over there. He knew him. So yeah, we rang him up and we got him down for a party.
Well, there's a big funeral on the 29th. I was Bill Powell years ago.
Right. Oh yeah.
I won't be there. He's been in trouble. I'm really upset about it. So hopefully
Too busy.
that's what made it a good lad. He's going to come in.
We're all getting old, see now we're losing them all out.
How old are you now?
6. I know. See you in a bit. Tomorrow, nice to see you. Oh, nice to meet you. At last, I was a lot about you.
Really good holiday. Yeah, what do you make? I appreciate it.
Last week, is this your chair? Yeah. With it warm, ladies?
Now that you're in, I'll expect you to do the job. I'm working with this
Don't recall the face. Same level as you, right at the other end. Having the girls on 3-4. I think we have got shorts on.
That's you, you're sticking to it. No, I don't. Is that this weekend? You were telling me about it, nice one, so. Oh, yeah.
Just a bit. Today, everyone, there wasn't red on in the classrooms I was in today, but it must have been more right because there was a lot of people. They were doing a cahoots in and all of a sudden I went, I think I fell asleep. Just went like that. I said I might have had a good
And then you'll shower and then you'll see him. They'll not back together.
Good idea.
Is that your booklet? I'll get it. Alright. Are you not warming that? You're very smart anyway, I like the colour. Love the colour. Sheen and Timu.
I don't know what's next.
I think we're doing the swerving in.
So number 8. Maybe, yeah, somewhere there. Oh no, it's already been done.
Oh yeah, that's what he said, didn't he?
Yeah.
Oh right, so we might be.
For now, it's on.
Oh, the election.
There you go.
Yeah. Oh yeah, so we're halfway through, sort of thing. And your best.
Are you staying?
Yeah, I don't know how long for. Jane's getting itchy feet. She can't. She gets all flustered.
Is that the one who's
Who's what?
brought you, is he?
Yeah. So she's not good in these situations. She doesn't like.
So what do you do to chill when you're not?
We meet, you know, the Stride Cafe at the back of Street School. So we meet on the Monday, and we used to meet at Mention on a Wednesday evening. We used to do all different things. Then last year we sort of changed the way we did things, and we just meet at the Stride Cafe on the Monday. And we just organise things that we're going to do. You know.
The woman in the one.
Well, there's Jane, Kath, who's with her, me, and my sister. We're the four main ones. And then people just, Jane said if people need any help, get in touch with us and we go on it. If we can, we do fundraisers like on Transom with Electric Football. So the more any money we get in, then it just goes up back out to the community. You know, we're doing a sleep out on the beach in summer. We've done that for the last 2 years. That's fun.
I was looking at the Blackpool one, but it's not really Wyre.
We just do our own. It's just for the chill out with people. If we want, we don't do it, we don't ask for anything. People do tend to donate. And then, like I say, we can do it like, just recently we did a free Easter egg giveaway. You know, so we do things like that. We do free things. And they just want to do it. We do. We're getting all the paraphernalia on a bit. They'll be outside having a fag then too. They won't be outside for fresh air, they'll be having a fag, talking to the protesters.
Well, you want to tell them that they need to come back because she's just come in.
I won't tell them. Won't get them.
Please be seated.
I know.
This is your declaration.
Right. I, Steve Nichols, having been elected to the office of Mayor of the Borough of Wyre, hereby declare that I take that office upon myself and will duly and faithfully fulfil the duties of it according to the best of my judgment and ability. I undertake to be guided by the Wyre Borough Council Code of Conduct in the performance of my functions in that office. I'll return to my seat now and ask Councillor Vincent to give a vote of thanks for the year that Councillor Jane and retiring Mayor Jane has done for this last 12 months.
Thank you, Madam Mayor. Oh, there she is. Madam Mayor, Councillor, don't be scared.
I was nice to you.
Councillor Preston has been an excellent mayor. She has had to chair some rather difficult meetings and has done so with grace and calm. She's executed her civic duties admirably and has proven to have been the ideal mayor. Prior to 2017, I'm only aware of one female mayor, the great Pat Catlow. There may have been others, but I'm not aware of any from the list at the back of your programme. Councillor Preston is the 6th consecutive female mayor over 7 years, and that is something that this council should be celebrating. If we have learned anything about Councillor Preston in the last year, it's don't say it with words, say it with cake. And so, on behalf of the people of Wyre, I present Councillor Preston with Tesco's finest knockoff Colin the Caterpillar, because the original's been hacked.
I'm now going to make my acceptance speech. I thought we needed a proposer and seconder for... Yeah. Seconded, Councillor Berry. Brilliant.
Thank you, sir. I'm very pleased to propose this vote of thanks to Councillor Preston. Jane, you did say in concluding your little speech that you may not have won an Oscar, but in fact you've been a star for us for the last year, and you've done a really good job for us all, and we greatly appreciate it. And I'm so pleased as well that you had a great day down at Buckingham Palace at the garden party, and were able to see the King and the Queen, and both you and your husband enjoyed the day. It was fabulous for you. But I mean, normally at this stage we always say to a retiring mayor, you know, you've worked very hard, you can now put your feet up for another 2 or 3 months and come back in September and we'll see how you are then. But in this case, I think looking at the agenda, you may still be busy for us for another year. So thank you so much for all you've done, and for what you're going to do for us in the future. It's been great. You've had a great time for us all. Thank you so much.
Could I ask councillors to vote to show their support? Those against? Any abstentions? Put your hand up if you are. The badges, aren't they?
Yeah.
Thank you. The proposal's approved. It's now my pleasant duty to present the following: the past Mayor's badge to Councillor Jane Preston and the past Consort badge to Mr Stephen Preston. Can you make your way to the end of the dais to my right and receive your badges? I'm now going to do my acceptance speech. First of all, I'd like to thank Councillor Vincent and Councillor Berry for painting a picture of my life, especially Councillor Vincent's, which some of my scrapes might have come across as me being a scallywag. However, here I am now dressed as a highwayman, so draw your own conclusions to that. It's funny sat here because a certain gentleman who likes social media at the beginning of my deputy year made a comment that I was a shoo-in, it was a done deal that I was going to be the mayor. And I violently objected to that. I had no intentions whatsoever. And then when Councillor Sue Catterall put herself forward, I wholeheartedly supported her. But when her own circumstances forced her to say, well, I'm not up to this year, I thought about all the year that I've been around at various places, especially Fleetwood, all the community events, all the awards, and all the one people I've met. And I thought, I really would like to go and meet them all again. So I put my name forward, and here I am. Fortunately, I've been elected, and I have promised all of those places I've been to that I will go back this coming year. I had a little bit of cultural entertainment lined up for you, I thought. I had asked Councillor Brian Stevenson to quote some Shakespeare for you, but sadly he's on holiday. So thank you everybody for everything. And the next item is the election of Deputy Mayor for 2025-2026. Can I please have a nomination for Deputy Mayor? Thank you, Councillor Livesey. Can I have a seconder, please? Thank you, Councillor. We'll now confirm this proposal. Those for? All right. Councillor Livesey is going to say something on behalf of Jane.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. So, Mr. Mayor, county councillors, honorary aldermen, honoured guests, ladies and gentlemen. Little did I realise it that when I was elected to this council 2 years ago, I'd be required to adopt a particularly needy daughter in the form of our outgoing mayor, Jane Preston. But as any proud father, I've been happy to provide Jane with a shoulder to cry on, advice when she's asked for it, and some advice when she's not asked for it either. I say proud because with a minuscule amount of help I've given Jane, after only 1 year as a councillor, I saw her overcome the criticism of her youth and inexperience to perform the role of mayor with alacrity, maturity and dignity. She's gained the admiration and respect of everyone she's met, on the outside and on the inside of this chamber. In fact, I have it on very good authority that one councillor, Kevin Higginson, actually said he was in danger of actually liking Jane. And that's high praise indeed, Kevin. I have no doubt that in time to come we'll see Jane bestowed with the highest of honours, a damehood, even if it's only for her contribution to the British cake industry. In the meantime, I think Jane's newfound knowledge and experience will help and support another newly elected councillor in Steve Nichols in his role as elected mayor. I therefore have no hesitation in proposing Councillor Jane Preston to be elected to the office of Deputy Mayor of Wyre for the municipal year 2025 to 2026. Thank you.
As a seconder, would you like to say anything?
Yes, please. Mr. Mayor, county councillors, honorary aldermen, honoured guests, ladies and gentlemen. It gives me great pleasure to second Councillor Preston as Deputy Mayor. I first met Jane 6 years ago when she presented herself at a selection. She came across as a strong, confident and independent lady. As Mayor, Jane proved herself as she does as a ward councillor. A people person, always willing to go the extra mile and community spirited. But above all, it's Jane's ability as a natural conversationalist that is distinguishing. Indeed, Jane's proud of not only just her cake loving, but another party trick, fitting 12 large marshmallows in her mouth at once. Mr. Mayor, good luck getting a word in edgeways. Jane has proved an excellent mayor, and I can't think of anyone better placed to support her successor. I therefore second that Councillor Preston be elected to the office of Deputy Mayor of the Borough of Wyre for the municipal year 2025-26. Thank you.
Thank you, Councillor Cartridge. We will now confirm this proposal. Those for? No need to say those against. It's unanimous. I declare Councillor Jane Preston to be duly appointed as the Deputy Mayor of the Borough of Wyre for 2025 and 2026.
I, Jane Preston, having been appointed to the office of Deputy Mayor of the Borough of Wyre, hereby declare that I take that office upon myself, and I will duly and faithfully fulfil the duties of it according to the best of my judgment and ability. I undertake to be guided by the Borough of Wyre Council Code of Conduct in the performance of my functions in that office.
Councillor Preston, would you like to say a few words?
I think you're probably a bit fed up of hearing me over these, so I'll keep it brief. But it's a pleasure to be helping you, Steve, and be by your side. Just so that you know, if there is anything that involves cake, I want to be the one that goes. So yeah, and I will fight you in the car park for it. But no, it's a massive honour to be here again. Just maybe a little bit less pressure of being on this side of the seat than the other side. But again, looking forward to what the year brings and getting to meet some wonderful people again. And now that I'm not sat on that side of the chair, I can probably dedicate some more time to being a bit more within the borough to help with events. So thank you very much.
Thank you for that. Due to us swapping roles, the past Deputy Mayor's badge will be provided for myself, which the Chief Executive will present with me following the meeting, I believe. The next item is item 8, Mayor's Communications.
Okay, thank you. I'm just going to read out a couple of notes of congratulations, in addition to numerous that I'm sure Mr. Mayor will receive this evening and in the days to follow. I've just had a couple of cards and emails passed to me. One from the Honorary Alderman Paul Moon, who says both to Jane, thank you, you've been fantastic and a credit to the council and the borough, and I hope you've thoroughly enjoyed every moment. And Stephen, I'd like to congratulate you on your nomination, and I'm sure you will have a successful and enjoyable year. And then also a congratulations and note for a great year ahead from Councillor Berry and Joan. Thank you.
Right, I'd like to thank the council for everything that's gone on tonight, and just to say that it's my intention to be as fair as I humanly can be to every single member of this council. And when you're making a point, if I say, do you think you're reaching the conclusion of the point you're trying to make, that is code for wind it up, please. Right, my charities. I thought long and hard about this. I've come into contact with the Salvation Army a lot in Fleetwood lately. I like to think them always first in and last out. So they are going to be one of my charities for my year. And due to all the veterans I've come in contact with over the last week or two and seen the organisations that they're involved with, the Army Benevolent Fund are going to be my second charity. Moving on to the next item, which is Youth Mayor. I'll now make an announcement regarding the Youth Mayor. I have the pleasure of thanking our outgoing Youth Mayor, the wonderfully named Macy Rainbow, for all your hard work. During your 12 months as Youth Mayor, it's flown. Please come up to the front to receive your token of appreciation. I have one other appointment to make, which is the appointment of the Youth Mayor for 2025-2026. I'm pleased to announce that the Youth Mayor for 25-26 municipal year is Horatio Broomall. I'm really looking forward to working with this amazing young Mayor, so please come to the front to be invested with the badge of office. Thank you. That concludes this evening's ceremonial proceedings, and we'll now proceed with item 9 on the agenda, which is appointments to committees, panels, groups, etc. for 2025-2026. Please note that the report was published as a late supplement to the original agenda, so Councillor Vincent, would you please introduce the report and propose the recommendations?
Thank you, Madam Mayor. Yes, Madam Mayor, and I need to propose. It's been 7 years of, I knew I was new, that's 7 years of females mayor. I genuinely couldn't remember what you called him. I'm just going to stick with Madam Mayor, I think. Mr Mayor, I need to propose an amendment to 3.2G, and the Conservative Group nominates Callum Baxter to the Council of Development Group. Other than that, happy to propose the recommendations, Madam Mayor. I did it again.
Is there a seconder for the proposal, Michelle?
Mr Mayor, I would like to second the proposal and reserve the right to speak later.
Thank you. Are there any comments, questions or amendments? Councillor Allison.
Thank you, Mr Mayor. Members of Parliament, County Councillors, Councillors, Honorary Aldermen, honoured guests, ladies and gentlemen. The Reform Group would like to propose an amendment to item number 3, recommendations. The proposed amendment to remove the political balance calculations to the audit standards and licensing committees, keeping the same numbers on the committees so that all members, regardless of party, can be considered to sit on them. Thank you.
Rebecca Huddleston, would you please advise on whether or not the amendment is valid?
Yes, I'll take that as an amendment, but I just want to pass to the monitoring officer just to provide a little bit of clarification around that amendment.
Okay, thank you. So an amendment to go against political balance rules is not in accordance with section 15 of the Local Government and Housing Act, which covers duty to allocate seats to political groups. However, there is a provision in section 17 of this act that allows to deviate from political balance should a resolution be passed unanimously tonight and that all members present vote unanimously. Thank you.
Thank you.
Do we have a seconder for the amendment? Thank you. Do any members, before I go on?
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. Mr. Mayor, the Local Government Act is there to respect democracy. It is there to ensure that those people who are voted for in Wyre Borough Council elections have fair representation onto committees. When the Pre-Sol Independents formed together as a group of 2, they received their calculated fair share of memberships on committees. The reform proposal tonight seeks to completely push aside democracy. I suspect it's come from Reform Central Office, and I am astounded, Madam Mayor, that that is their proposal. It effectively says that they can have any councillors on any committees. We currently have an independent socialist, an independent member, 2 members of the Pre-Sol Independent Group, we have the Labour members, and we have the Conservative members, and we have 4 Reform members. Madam Mayor, we have to respect democracy, we have to respect legislation, which is there to ensure that a fair share of the people that are actually voted for are represented. Madam Mayor, speaking of voting for people, can I just say how great it is to see County Councillor Alf Clempson here tonight after his excellent result. Madam Mayor, I am firmly against this. I would urge all members to vote against it, and it is a complete and utter disgrace.
Does anybody else wish to pass comments or speak on the subject? Thank you.
I'd just like to say that I totally agree with Michael, but if I'd like to get on. Stop there. Not saying another one.
Would the proposer of the amendment please respond to the debate?
Yeah, thank you, Mr. Mayor. I just want to make it clear that it is only the audit and standards and licensing committees. Now, I do make a point that the controlling group actually holds chair of the audit and standards, so I'm just trying to open that up to other parties to allow that, please. Thank you.
We'll now move to a vote on the amendment. Those in favour, please show. Those against, please show. Any abstentions? I jumped in too quick. Any abstentions? So the amendment is lost, so we'll therefore continue to debate the original motion.
Thank you, Madam Mayor. Just before we vote on the amendment, I just think it would be, sorry, the main, Mr Mayor, Mr Mayor, I'm going to write Mr Mayor on my piece of paper. Mr Mayor, before we vote on the amendment, I think it would be worth noting for councillors that since election, Councillor Crawford's attendance at the Audit and Standards Committee, which they want a seat on, is 0%. Happy to move the proposal, Madam Mayor.
Councillor Berry, would you like to say anything? Thank you. That concludes the debate. Would members please vote now on the recommendations? Those in favour, please show. Those against, please show. Any abstentions? The recommendation is approved. The next item is appointment to outside bodies. Councillor Vincent, would you please introduce the report and propose the recommendations?
I would be delighted to, Mr Mayor.
Is there a seconder for the proposal?
I will second, Mr Mayor.
Thank you, Councillor. Are there any comments, questions or amendments? Would members please vote now on the recommendations? Those in favour are already showing. Any against? Any abstentions? The recommendation is approved. Thank you. I bet you're all heaving a sigh of relief. That concludes the meeting. Would members and